I want to go over mRNA Moderna because it ran like crazy today. We ended the day at $28.14, up a whopping 13.93%. The reason? It is possibly in talks with another major drug maker for a potential buyout or partnership. So two ginormous forces are getting together to take our money away from us. So it sent the ticker running. And I don't know what company because I tried to find out and I couldn't find it. So I don't know the who, what, where, why, and when, but it could be because someone just said it so that they could sell this at a higher price. We don't know the motive. We just know we made some money and I made some money as well. So this is where we ended. To the north side takes us to 28.73. That is resistance and a potential take profit area. Whoops. Move that back. That's the red line. The white line is the next target of mine, and that is 29.92. And above that would be down the road 31.13. And right here is the middle of the trend. That's the green line. So if we hit this area, that will be support and a potential buy-in area and a potential bounce area. And then below that, 23.97, roughly 22.76, and down the road, possibly 21.54. I'm more interested in buying it back here or here. So I missed the first opportunity to sell because I had an area I wanted to unload, and I woke up late and this thing started running. I'm like, what happened? So I set a sell order at 28.95 after I missed it the first time. So it gave me an opportunity to sell a second time. And I was going to go and sell it at $29, but I thought, no, just in case, I'm just going to get out because this is a miracle. For one day, I don't know when was the last time we've made 14% in one day. So I dumped it and it ran some more, got up to 29.20, and then what happens at resistance? A pullback. So this is where we are, right on this line of where I marked this as the middle of the trend, which is now turned into support. All right, and you can see the sell-off here. Well, we were selling off, and then the bounce here all the way to the sell-off over here. I've traded this multiple times in the past. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times. And let me clean up this chart. This took us to the north side at 25.88. That is no longer in play. And that one took us to the downside at roughly 25.84. And this one is done as well. That took us to 27.12. Delete. Okay. And there are many things I need to clean up, and it's been a while since I've done that. That took us to 26.86, and then we fell down for the rise up. And I marked this out, extending it, not knowing where it was going to land, and it landed very close to where I put it. That cracks me up sometimes. 25.67. Oh, look at this. 29.43. It's going to be the next target here, or one of the targets to, oh, look, did we hit it? No. Oh, we did hit it. 29, that was on October the 8th. Oh, let's see, I wasn't even paying attention. So that is done. 29.43, delete. Started at 27.87, delete. Okay, and what else? Oh, I've got a little hole here to fill, and one right here. Many gaps to the upside. Did you ever get a COVID shot? There was no way you could pay me enough to get a COVID shot. What a scam that was. And the funny thing is, I know, well, forced scam. Okay, if you do it willingly, that's your problem. That's your prerogative. But when you force people to go get a shot or make it so unbearable for your work to force people to do it, that was disgusting. Shame on these companies. I will trade these pharmaceuticals all day long, but I will never take the jab. Okay, and I know people will be very upset about that. And my 60-something-year-old friend just got another COVID shot. They said that they got sick after taking it. I'm like, why? It's like you're scared into taking it and you can't get off this hamster wheel. They're going to Europe and they wanted to get their flu shot and their COVID shot. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I'm done. I digress. Okay, that's it. And let's take a look at this on the daily. What does the RSI tell us? I did not take it because I didn't want to grow a third eye and have heart palpitations like a lot of the young kids had. I just knew there was something going to be wrong, and sure enough, no thank you. Okay, oops, Command Z if you want to undo something. We've got plenty of room to move to the upside on the daily. And where are we? Oops, gosh darn it, I keep hitting different things. 28. Oh, it's over here, that's why. 28.14. Okay, one window will be right here at 32.40 and to the south side, the middle of the trend. 16.31 earnings is coming up on the 6th. So hopefully we'll have more news about that, and then I'll buy in lower as well. Okay, oops, gosh darn it, I keep hitting the wrong thing. That's the daily. And let's take a look at the weekly up here. Where's that? Oh, plenty of room to move to the upside on the weekly. Okay, and then the monthly, plenty of room also. As a matter of fact, look at this, almost touching this oversold area. Now, another ticker I want to go over very quickly, and I track about 250 something tickers within Vanguard's total stock market index. So Mrna was at the top of the leader, and CMG Chipotle is now at the bottom, and I've tracked this for a little while, and while it's not at the 52-week low, it looks great. So I'm thinking, I wonder if I set a buy order maybe down here or here, and if it comes to my area, I might just pick it up and buy it. I have not eaten at Chipotle in over probably 5 years. I can't even remember what they sell. I just know there was a bunch of problems with some sort of bacteria, I don't know. And then the CEO left, and then they brought in the Starbucks CEO, a lot of changes, and then the stock ran after the new CEO, and that was short-lived. Just because you're shiny and new doesn't mean that the company is in a good financial position. Look at, we are basing. So you know what? Look at this. This basing just tells me that something massive is going to happen here. What is it? Look at this on the daily. Look at this. We just bled out. Ooh, maybe I'll set an order at 20.29. Oh, look at earnings. That's why. Look at this. Reported $3 billion. They were estimated to bring in $3.02 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money, okay? $3 billion, and yet they didn't meet the street's numbers and got clobbered. Some make it, and then they get clobbered, and then some don't make it, and they get rewarded with the ticker running. It makes no sense. All right, so the 1 year price target, ooh, 46, which represents a 41% return. Very nice. Is there more room to bleed out? No, the analysts do not say there's more room to the downside, but you know what? They're always wrong. There's always potential, but not so much that it registered here. That's 40 analysts. Wow. $34, 46, and 65. I think I'm going to set a buy order, especially since I sold some MRNA. All right, let's go to the 5-minute. I prefer to check out all the red stocks because I'd rather buy. I like to buy. I'm terrible at selling. Okay, let's give you some price targets. 32.53, right in line with this gap that began when we fell. So we're going to correct to the upside. The middle of the trend takes us to 33.98, 37.79. This gap will close right here. I'll change the color later. And then after that, down the road as well, 41.64. And 46 is the target, or one of the targets. And you know what? I want to go over Amazon because my friend is in this one. They bought like $40,000 worth of Amazon because he's always wanted to buy it, and he finally did it. And he was in his 60s. No, I think 70s. Sorry, 70s. And they bought it in the 175 range. So I'm very happy for them because they own nothing. So this is a great little pop and confidence booster for them. They were nervous about buying it, you know, and I don't blame them since they've not done this stuff before, but they know I was heavy into trading and they took a leap of faith and got rewarded. Okay, so we are here. Let me just go over the earnings. So they reported $180.17 billion. The estimate was $177.91 billion. They smoked it. Okay, so we are here. Resistance, take profit, 223.60. Middle of the trend, 227.29. That's also resistance and a potential take profit area. All right, the gap closes there at 229.94, 231.09, 233, and down the road, 234.90. Sell off at resistance. Here's your buy-in. And there's a gap. Ooh, there's a gap to the downside. There's always a downside. Just as I had mentioned, I did a bunch of semiconductor tickers, and the majority of the tickers I went through were all green. And then I said for Thursday, that was Wednesday for Thursday, that I will predict a red day because people took their profits, they ran, and so the next day it typically turns in the opposite direction. And it did for the semiconductors. Many of them. All right. 221.18. I'll change the color later. And that gap closed. Here's another opportunity right here. Okay, there will always be a pullback, always be an opportunity. Don't chase. Don't FOMO. There's always something to buy. 208.90 down there. All right. That does it for me. That is a look at mRNA, CMG, Chipotle, and Amazon. If there's a ticker you want me to go over, please let me know. And let me know if you're trading any of the tickers that I've talked about and made some profit as well.